Hey everybody, and welcome to Age's Cozy Crochet Corner, where today on the corner we're going to be making circle squares. So this is where we're going to take a circle. We're going to start out like this, and then we're going to block it and turn it into a square. Now this one is going to be 4 rows on our circle, and then we'll do 2 rows in our border color. So I'm going to be using the exact same colors here. This is medium 4-waisted yarn, and I wanted to do a blanket. I used this pattern to make a blanket. I'll show you guys at the end of the video. So I wanted to go ahead and use a multicolor just to blend it all in with the solid color on the outside. These squares measure about 6.5 inches, just in case you want to use them for whatever you might like. And we will be doing them with a 4.5 millimeter hook. Of course, if you want your square smaller, you can do it with a smaller hook. If you want it larger, you can just use a larger hook. We'll need scissors. We'll need our yarn needle to weave in our ends at the end. And the amount of yarn that you're going to need if you're making a full project will, of course, depend on your project. So let's get these out of here and let's begin learning how to make a circle. Okay, so in order to begin, I want to get my yarn on my hook, just wrap it around, grab my yarn and pull it through. Okay. And now I'm going to start with a chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. Now I want to go into the first chain, grab my yarn, and come through. I'm going to grab the bottom to pull this down some and go through the other side and chain up 3. So this chain 3 is going to stand for a double crochet. And we're going to go right inside this little hole we created, and we're going to put 12. We're going to go right inside this little hole we created, and we're going to put 11 double crochet. With this one, it's all going to total up to 12 double crochets. So let's go in and put 11. It's 1, 2, and I'm going to work over that little tail as I go. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 all together, remember, including our chain 3. So now we want to slip stitch into the top of the chain 3. I'm going to go inside, grab my yarn, and pull it through. All right, that's round 1. So we're going to chain up 3. Remember that chain 3 is going to stand for a double crochet. Now on this row, we want to put 2 double crochet into every stitch. So we should have 24 double crochet at the end. So we're going to start right here where we already have the chain 3 coming out, coming from the previous chain 3. And I'm going to go right back inside there and put a double crochet. Now I have 2 double crochets in that one stitch, and we'll continue that all the way around. Next stitch, 2 double crochets. 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 And I think you get it. So we'll continue going all the way around till we get to our last stitch, and we'll again have 24 double crochets in this round. Okay, I've gone all the way around. I have 24 double crochets, and now I want to slip stitch into the top of the chain 3. That is round 2. So for our third round, we want to chain up 3. So to begin, we're going to begin with our first stitch. We already have what stands as a double crochet coming out of it. So we're going to go right back in there, and we're going to place another double crochet. So for our next stitch, which is right here, we're going to go in and place 1 double crochet. Our next stitch, we're going to go in and place 2 double crochet. And the following stitch, we'll go in and place 1 double crochet. We're going to go all the way around that same way, 2 double crochets, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, 1 double crochet until we get to the end. We should end with a single double crochet coming out of our last stitch, and we'll have 36 double crochets all the way around. I've gone all the way around, and my last one again should be just 1 double crochet. Now I'm going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 3 that we begin with. And round 3 is complete with 36 double crochets. We're going to chain up 3. The chain 3 again stands for a double crochet. Now this row is going to be 2 double crochets into 1 stitch. The next stitch will be a 1 double crochet, and the next stitch will be 1 double crochet, and we'll repeat that all the way around. Let's demonstrate. So that first double crochet, because we already have the chain 3 coming from it, we're going to just go in there and put another double crochet. So that's our 2 double crochet for the first one, and the next one will just get 1 double crochet. The next stitch, 1 double crochet, and then we begin again. So our following stitch will get 2 double crochet and 1 stitch. And our next stitch will get 1 double crochet, and the following one, 1 double crochet. And we begin again, 2 double crochet in the next stitch, 1 double crochet into the next one, and 1 double crochet into the next one. And we'll keep that pattern going on all the way around till we come back here. We should end with 1 double crochet in the last stitch. This one is going to have 48 double crochets all the way around. Okay, I've gone all the way around, and you see I've ended with a double crochet. That pattern should take you all the way out so you can repeat it completely and ending in that same way. Now we're going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 3 that we began with. And we're going to cut our yarn because Our 4-row circle, our 4-round circle is complete. Right, and that is how we do the circle. Now we're going to bring in our border color. And we're going to go ahead and begin our border. Now I left this here because I wanted to show you. I usually will weave in this little end before I begin, but I just want to show you that I'm starting complete opposite of that. If I don't choose to weave in, I will just work it down as I go. So I want to show you that working it down. I also want to leave enough so I can work this down completely. Now, to begin, we want to enter into a stitch. Okay. Now I'm just going to add my yarn on by grabbing my yarn and pulling it through. And I'm going to chain up 3. Our pattern begins with us going right back into that same stitch and placing another double crochet. Now, as with the rest of our pattern, the chain 3 stands for a double crochet. So we're going to go inside there, and I am catching that extra yarn as I go along here until it is worked totally over. And I'm going to make my double crochet. Now this is the begin of a corner. We will finish that corner off when we come all the way back around. Now we want to place 1 half double into the next stitch. Our following stitch will get a half double. So we have 2 half doubles. Once we place our 2 half doubles, our next 6 stitches will be single crochets. So we will single crochet once in the next 6 stitches. So the next one, single crochet 1, and the following one, single crochet 2, next one, single crochet 3, next one, single crochet 4, next one, single crochet 5, next one, single crochet 6. Okay, now we'll do 2 half doubles, 1 in the next 2 spaces. So 1 half double in the next space. And then the following stitch, we'll go and place another half double. Now we're back at a corner, so we're going to put 2 double crochets into 1 stitch. So our next stitch is 2 double crochets. When at a corner, we want to chain 1, and we're going to go right into the next stitch and place another 2 double crochets. And what we've done here, we're going to do all the way around. So let's repeat that pattern again. We're going to do 2 half doubles in the next 2 stitches. So we're going to go in this stitch and we're going to place a half double. And the next stitch, we're going to place a half double. And the next 6 stitches are going to get 1 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 single crochets. Our next 2 stitches are going to get a half double. So we'll half double in the first stitch. And then we'll place a half double into the second stitch here. And now we're back at a corner. Our corner will get 2 double crochets. So let's put 2 double crochets in our next stitch. We're going to chain 1. And our very next stitch is going to get 2 double crochets. And then we just keep that pattern going all the way around. So what we have is our corner is going to be 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. Then we'll place 2 half doubles, one in the next 2 stitches. Over the next 6 stitches, we're going to do single crochets. Then we'll go back into the 2 half doubles in the next 2 spaces, and then we're back at our corner where we're doing 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. And I think you get it. So we'll continue going all the way around till we get to our last stitch. Now we are at our 2 half doubles and 1 half double here. And our next stitch will be a half double. And that should only leave us with 1 stitch, and that is where we're going to finish this corner. So we're going to put 2 double crochets into that corner and chain 1. Now we're going to slip stitch at the top of the chain 3 that we started with. And that is our first row of our border. Right? So our next row is going to be all double crochets because we've already set the base for our square. So now we're going to go into all double crochets. But we will begin with the chain 3. Of course, our chain 3 is going to count for our first double crochet and the first part of our corner. Now, I like to always begin in my corners because that keeps it clean all the way around. So what we're going to do is yarn over, and we're going to go back into this corner right here and make our double crochet. And there we have the beginning of our corner. We'll finish our corner when we go all the way around and come back here. Now for this, we're just going to be putting 1 double crochet into every stitch until we get to our corner. We should have 14 double crochets all the way across. Do not forget to go into that first stitch right here. Okay, so we're going to go all the way down. We should have 14 double crochets at the end of the row. So we went all the way from our corner all the way to right before this corner, our last stitch, and we should have 14 double crochets. Our corner, we're going to go inside there and we're going to maintain the corner just like we did on the previous row with 2 double crochets, a chain 1, and 2 more double crochets right into that same space, keeping up our corners. And now we're going to go all the way to our next corner, and we should have 14 double crochets. Do not forget to go into that first stitch right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. And then we'll do the corners the same way, going into our corner, 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. And we'll go all the way around in this exact same way. 14 double crochets. We'll do our corner, 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets into our corner, and back here we'll have 14 double crochets, and I'll come back and we'll end off this corner together. Okay, so I've gone all the way around and I am back at my beginning. Now we're going to finish off this corner by going in and placing 2 double crochets, chain 1, and slip stitch at the top of the chain 3 we begin with. And then we're going to cut our yarn and pull through. Now, if you want to keep going around with your square portion where you're making just this border edge, you would just chain up like we began before, chain 3, go right back into that corner and do a double crochet, and then continue along. Of course, where we had 14 double crochets before we got to a corner, that amount would grow on the next row, and it would just keep getting bigger. Just keep maintaining your corners the same way we did on this row. Now that that is all done and that is settled, you just want to simply take and weave in your ends. So you want to add that on, and you're just going to go back and forth and weave in your end. And always cut at the base so it doesn't come through. And that is it. We have our 4-round circle granny square. Okay, so now we know how to make this circle square, and what I've done is I've made 64 of these. Okay, so 64, and 64 is going to give me a nice throw that I would like with a border. Now if you want to make your blanket bigger, then you're just going to think about how many squares you need in order to make your blanket the size that you want to. We already have the measurements of the squares, but you can always use a different hook. A larger hook give you a larger square, so you can figure out from there what you need to do in order to get a bigger blanket. If you want a bigger blanket, I just want something throwy. So from here, what we're going to do is we're going to join them in panels of 8. So I'm going to take 64 of my squares, right? And that's going to give me 8 rows of 8. Okay, so this is what I consider a panel, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I have 7, 8 right here, which I'm going to show you how to join them on to the panel. So you want in total 8 together in one row, and I'm considering this a panel, but you want to do this 8 times. Okay, so we're going to have 8 of these things. Now I want to show you how to join them in the one row. All right, now you see I've already done these 6. I'm just going to use these 2 to show you how to put them together. So what we want to do is we want to take that last color that we ended off with, and we want to enter into the center of the corner right there where we have that chain 1 space, here and here. Now we want to make sure the back sides of our piece are facing us. So this is my square and this is the back side. and this is my square and this is the back side. So when we open it up, the right sides of our squares will be facing out, okay? So you want to join with the wrong sides on the outside. I'm going to grab my yarn and pull this down to add it on. Grab my yarn and chain 1. And then I'm going to go right back into this corner space, going in, grabbing my yarn, coming up, and making a single crochet. And I will be working over the string as much as possible. So we're going to go into the first stitch here and the first stitch in the back. Now these pieces are identical, so we should be able to match up every stitch all the way down to this corner, okay, closing it off with a single crochet. So how that looks, so we're going to go through here, the first stitch on both sides, come up and make our single crochet. Move over to the next stitch on both sides. We're going to go through both of them at the same time, grab our yarn, come up and make our single crochet. And again, the next stitch on the next side, on both sides, and grab our yarn and come up, and then we're going to make a single crochet. And we're just going to keep that up, going into the very next stitch on both sides, front and back at the same time, and making our single crochet. Okay, and go through the front and back at the same time and make our single crochet. Now if you can go through this way and then you got to move that out the way to see what the next one is, no worries, just go through both of them and then make your single crochet. Okay, so we're going to do that all the way to this corner. And now we're back at our corners, so that chain 1 space right there. So we're going to go inside both of them at the same time, grab our yarn, come up and make our single crochet. And now we're just going to cut our yarn and pull through. Okay, so then we just simply open this up and we see our join area is just like that. And all we're going to do is keep adding as many as we want. Again, I'm doing 8, so this is already 6, so I'm going to, this is the front of my square, this is the front of my square. I'm going to close my square like this, and I'm going to add this 2 to the 6. But you're just going to join these up one by one until you get the desired length that you want. So remember, we're going to go in to the corner, grab our yarn, come up, chain 1, and then we're going to go right back into that corner, grab our yarn, come up and make our single crochet, and single crochet in every stitch, front and back together. Okay, so the join is going to go just like this. I'm going to go ahead and add this on all the way to the other corner. In the meantime, you can again add as many as you want. Now I'm doing 8 in each panel, okay, this being a panel, 1 row. So I'm going to do 8. Now if I choose 10, then I will do 10, but I most likely will do 10 by 10 unless I want a rectangle. I want mine to be square. If you want yours to be more rectangles, then maybe you do 8 in width and then do 10 in length, or vice versa. and I am at the corner, so I'm going to go in my corner and make my single crochet, cut my yarn, and pull that through. So now I have my panel of 8. I showed you how to join one square to another. So now I want to take another panel of 8. And here's another. Just trust me, because it's so long you can't see it all. But this is another panel of 8. So what I want to do is show you how to put the 2 panels together, and then you'll be able to add all your panels together. So this is the front side of one panel, and this is the front side of another panel. So what we want to do is fold the front sides on top of each other. And just like when we were adding one one square to another square, we're going to do the same thing going over our panels. So I'll show you going over about 2 of them, and just so you can see what all places you're going into. So we're starting in our corner, and I'm going to start in my corner on the other side. And again, same method. We're going to grab our yarn and we're going to add it on in the corner, that chain 1 space. And then we're going to go back in, grab our yarn, come up, and then make a single crochet. Now we're going through the first on the front square and the back square at the same time, and we're just going to add on with single crochet. So we're doing the same thing we've done for each individual square, but now we're putting the panels together in that same way. Okay, so we've gotten back to the corner right here. So I want to go inside this corner and make my single crochet. Now mind you, we're going through both corners. Make my single crochet. Now we have the join area, which is this area right here where we join the 2 squares together. We will do nothing in this area right here. So we're going to go from the corner and this square right to the corner and this square. So we're going to jump over the join, get our 2 corners on this side, and go right into both corners and make our single crochet. That is the only difference when you're adding the panels together versus just the square. When we're adding just the square, we're going from one corner to another corner. When we're adding the panels, which is longer, we're going from one corner to the other corner. Do not go into the join area. You're going to jump right over and still go into this corner. So, and then keep on. Go to the next stitches here and make, go to the next stitches here and make your single crochet. And then we'll keep going all the way till we get to the next corner, placing our single crochets, matching our stitches front and back. Okay, so now I am back at my corners right here. So I'm going to go through both corners and make my single crochet. jump over the join area and go to my next corners on my next squares right here, and make my single crochet, and then we're going to keep going. All of your squares should match up perfectly because they're all the exact same square. So I'm going to go ahead and complete this panel and add this all together, and we'll see what two panels look like together. I've come to the end, so I'm going to go through both corners and make my single crochet, cut my yarn, and chain one, pull through. Now I have two of my panels. Let's open it up together. And just like that, my two panels with 8 in each panel are together. Now all I'll do is take another panel, lay that on top of these so the front side are facing each other, and keep on adding until I have all 8 panels added together. So we're going to go ahead and get right to the both of them to add. So I'm going to go ahead and add both of them together, and then I'm going to go ahead and get all my 8 panels together, and then we'll work on a border. Okay, so for this project today, I'm going to be using Super Saver, and this is charcoal, and there's 364 yards here, and I used about 5 of them. For the border, depending on how big of a border, you may need more, but I used about 5 of these. And for the inner circle, I use 4 of these, and at 285 yards each. This is what's left over, and we'll be putting this on the border. Okay, just to add it and blend it into the border, since we have quite a bit of it left, and I want to go ahead and utilize it. So let's get right to the project. All right, so I am done, and we have our 8 rows of 8 circle squares, and they're all joined, and that's it. The blanket's done. We have now added everything on, and we're good. Now border. Now with this, I just want to put a nice and simple border on it. We're going to do front and back posts probably. But first I want to do a row of just double crochets. All right. And I told you in the beginning that I had some of this color left over, so we're going to bring that color in. And we're just going to do a row around this whole entire piece with this. Now, it's going to pretty much function just like this last row of double crochets that we put on our square. So I'm going to start, and we'll go over a couple squares. Now you're going to start in any corner, and we're going to go inside that corner. All right, and grab our yarn and chain 1. All right. Now I'm going to start with a double crochet, and it will be extended double crochet. You can just chain 3, but I don't really want that, so I'm going to go in and make my double crochet. And you see it's extended up here where the chain 1 was. All right, and then I have my double crochet. And now, just like our corners from our squares, we're going to go into this corner 2 times. So I'm going to go back in and make another double crochet. So it keeps to the same corner that we've already been doing for our square. And now I'm just going to go in every double crochet with another double crochet. So we're going to go all around our piece like this, just placing double crochets. When we get to our corners, we will make our corners the same way we made our corners on our square, 2 double crochets and a chain 1. But I will go over the corner with you. We only have 4 corners now, which would be this one, the one at the opposite end. We only have 4 corners now. All the corners on the actual piece that's put together will just go in that corner one time, right? So I'll show you what that looks like. Let's go ahead and place our double crochets until we get to our corner. Okay, so I'm at my first corner here that's on my piece, on the individual squares, and I'm just going to go inside that corner and place a double crochet. Skipping over the join area, I'm going to go into the next square and just place a double crochet into the corner. And then I'll keep going on with my double crochets. And that's the way it's going to be, okay? So keep going down. We're going to go all the way down this piece the same way in each of the corners on the individual squares. We're going to make a double crochet in that corner and keep going. And when we get back to the corner of our entire piece now, because now this is all one piece, I'm going to show you that corner again as we turn around and go down another side. Corner, go in there, jump over the joint and go into the next, place our double crochet and keep going. Okay, so I'm going to keep going until I get to what is our actual corner now, okay? And I'll meet you there. Okay, so I am at my corner now. It's going to take over for the whole entire corner for the piece, okay? Not just the individual corners on each square, now the overall corner. So we started at one corner and now we're at the next one. So we want to go in, and again, we're duplicating the same thing as below and what we worked on our corners and our individual squares. We're going in that corner with 2 double crochets. We'll chain 1 and go back into that corner. Let me turn my piece and go back into that same corner and put 2 more double crochets. So we've kept to the same corner as we've been doing, and we'll do that in all corners. And then we'll go right back to working down putting 1 double crochet in every double crochet and 1 double crochet into the corners from our individual square. So now that you know how to work the corners and you know what to do along the sides, we're going to go all the way around our blanket until we come back to where we begin, so we can finish that corner together and move on to our second row. Into my corner on my individual square and jump over and go into the next corner. And I'll see you back at the beginning. I'll see you back where we begin our piece, so we can finish that corner together. Okay, so I worked all the way back around to where we started, and we started with 2 double crochets into this corner. So now I'm going to go back into this corner and place 2 more double crochets. Chain 1 and then slip stitch into the top of the first double crochet. And I'm going to cut this yarn because I'm done with this color. Was able to use the rest of it that I had. And I'm going to chain 1 and just pull that through. So I'm going to start right in this corner, and then I'm going to come through with my charcoal. Okay, so what I want to do is add my charcoal on in the same way we added on this color. I'm going to grab my yarn and pull through and make me a chain 1. Now I'm going to go right back into the corner and I'm going to make my double crochet. And because this is a corner, we're going to go back in and make another double crochet. And all of our corners, and we have 4 of them now because we have covered all of our corners from each of the squares with that last row. So we should have a straight edge of nothing but double crochets, and our 4 corners are definitely identified now. So all of our corners will be worked up in the same way we worked all the other corners, which are 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets. We'll finish this one when we come back around. Now as far as, oh, wait a minute, let me turn my work some. So as far as all of our double crochets, we're going to start doing front and back posts, okay? So I'm going to start with the first one from the previous corner. And I'm going to go behind that double crochet, grab my yarn, and pull up and make another double crochet. This is going to push this double crochet forward. And then I'm going to yarn over, and the next double crochet, I'm going to reach from behind to go in front of it. Okay? Grab my yarn and pull up, and then make a double crochet. And that's going to pull that double crochet back. Now again, we want to alternate, so I'm going to go behind this one from the front, grab my yarn and come up and make a double crochet, pushing this one forward, and I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to reach from behind to go in front of the next double crochet, grab my yarn and come up and make another double crochet, pushing this one back. And we'll just keep doing that, alternating, going behind it and making your double crochet and reaching from behind to go in front of it and come back up and make your double crochet. So we're just going to keep alternating this all the way down. And when we get to our chain one space where our corner is, we're going to continue to make our corner. All right, I'll go all the way down and we'll get to the first corner and work that one together, and then we'll finish on out. Okay, so I am back to my corner from the previous row, and remember, we're going to take that front and back post right around that corner, right, till we get to the center where our chain one is. Okay, so I'm right at the corner, and now I'm going to go inside my corner and do my 2 double crochets, chain 1 and 2 double crochets. And then pick right back up on my front and back post. So I'm going to start with my front, and then I'm going to go behind that one, and I'm going to go behind that one, and then I'm going to go from the behind to go in front of this one. And I'm going to keep going. All right, so I'm going to do this all the way around till we get back to where we begin. Remember, work your front and back posts till you get to that chain 1 space, which is your center, and then go ahead and put your corner right there, 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet. So I'll go all the way around and meet you at the end. Okay, so I'm going around making my last back post, and then I have my chain 1 space, which is my corner. We've already done half of the corner, so we're going to go back in there and finish off our corner by placing 2 double crochet into the corner. I'm going to chain 1 and slip stitch at the top of the double crochet that we begin with, and I'm going to cut my yarn. This is a very simple border. I like how the color plays around from this on top of that, and that's it. That's all I want. If you want to do more of a border than this, then keeping the same theme, we're going to chain 1 and go into our corner and start this the same way we have been by placing 2 double crochet into the corner, and then keeping our front post, our back post, but also having to work front and back posts around the 2 double crochet from the previous corner. And then we would just keep everything identical. Front post would stay front post, back post would stay back post, and so forth and so on for as many rows as you want to. But I want to keep it nice and light, and I'm just going to make these 2 rows, and I'm going to go ahead and pull that through and pull that down. Now all I have to do is weave in my ends. I'm going to clip a short video after this video for weaving in ends if you need any assistance with doing that. And thank you for joining me with my January blanket. We have 11 more to go, and hopefully we make every single one for each month. As always, thank you for coming to the corner, and I'll see you in the comment section.